Good morning, Dr. Hickey, Mr. Patterson, Mr. Gallagher, faculty, and fellow students. Today, I'm going to talk about my experience being a faculty kid. As many of you may know, my mom is the music teacher, and people think having a parent on campus all the time can be a bad thing, which sometimes is true, but most of the time it's actually very helpful and not bad at all. I've been going to Upland for about 11 years now, and it's been a great journey being able to grow up here. When I was in the primary center, it was challenging to have my mom for my teacher because she was mine, not theirs. And I would have trouble sharing my mom's attention with the other students. I didn't really get how it worked at the time because I thought I was the most important person at school when it came to her class, but that wasn't the case. I can still remember all the conversations she had with me about how when we were at school, she had to more act like a teacher than my mom. She had to share her focus with the whole class, which I could remember we could be a bit of a handful. We're not a handful anymore. When we would sit in a circle to do some activity, like make a mountain out of wooden sticks and need to climb over the mountain or learn how to play the recorder, I would not want anyone else but me to sit next to my mom. When I didn't feel like I was getting enough attention from her, I would cause trouble to get her attention, but it wasn't worth it because it turned out not to be the type of attention I wanted. I would throw fits, and if I was unable to sit next to her, then I would eventually get sent out into the hallway because I was disrupting the class. It got better as I got older, and I stopped acting out during class. It was also challenging to be left behind by her when she had to go to work. I can still remember the day that I had to go into school and meet with Miss Yetman and answer some questions, build blocks, and play with small fuzzy bears. But I was mostly upset because my mom was gone. I remember having separation anxiety up until the beginning of kindergarten, which is when it got better. But when I started pre-K at Upland, I would have a very hard time starting the day in the morning because I didn't want my mom to leave. I can still remember whining to my mom not to go, and I didn't understand how everything worked for a little bit. I eventually forgot about that throughout the day, and I would be fine by the end of the day. Then by 1st grade, when I was used to how the days worked, and I knew I would eventually see her at the end of the day, and maybe even throughout the day if we had music class. Knowing that my mom was on campus made it both easier and harder for me, because I knew if she was close and something happened, she wouldn't be too far. But it made it harder because I was tempted to go to her just to be with her. I was still very little and didn't understand that she had a job to do, and I couldn't get in the way of it just to be with her. Growing up, I spent a lot of time on campus, whether it was for school or not. I would come to Upland on the weekends so my mom could work. When I was younger, I wouldn't be allowed to stay home alone, so a good amount of my weekends were spent at school. When there were shows or concerts, I would usually stay till my bedtime, or maybe even well past it. As I got older, I would still be here because most likely staying till the event was over, helping get things ready, and then watching. Over the summers, I would stay and help set things up for the upcoming school year. I would also help with the Upland summer camp, and that would keep me at school for about a whole school day for a couple of weeks. Once I got to upper school and started playing club hockey, I would have to stay till my practices were done, which was pretty late. And now that I played for 16U hockey, my practices are even later, making it so I don't get home until about 10. This means that over the course of my life, I've spent more time here at Upland than anywhere else, making it like my second home. When I was younger, the drama teacher I knew was Miss Phillips, and my older sister was friends with her 2 daughters. My mom was also very good friends with her, so I grew up going to their house every couple of days to pick up my sister Ella from there. For other students, it might be weird seeing their teachers outside of school, but for me, it's kind of normal. There was one time after a concert where my mom was going to a restaurant for dinner with Mr. Gallagher and Miss Cooper, and I was the only kid there with no one to talk to. I frequently see my teachers outside of school, so it wasn't that weird. It's normal for me to see my teachers outside of school by this point, and every now and then, I'll come downstairs in the morning after getting ready on the weekends and see my English teacher either sitting in the kitchen with my mom drinking tea and having a charcuterie board, or both of them sitting on the couch with tea in their hands, talking about some random thing I never bothered to ask because it most likely didn't concern me. One benefit of having my mom work at Upland is that sometimes she knows things that other parents might not. For example, my mom knows all the dates of certain events that I would usually participate in. There's a yearly event called the Hunt Cup, and I volunteer almost every year to help sell programs. Some people also sing the national anthem, but I found myself better at selling programs than singing. She also knows the dates of pretty much all the concerts and plays that are performed, mainly because she runs them with the drama teacher. If she knows when something important is coming up, she'll make sure I'm well prepared for it, whatever it might be. Because my mom knows all the dates, I'm never really unprepared for them. As a faculty child, I'm also very strongly encouraged to volunteer when something comes up. Over the summer, I volunteered to help with the Upland summer camp, which I did for a total of a couple weeks since 7th grade. Another thing I was encouraged to volunteer was babysitting teachers' kids while they were working. During the summer, while teachers are in meetings, there will be a bunch of kids needing to be babysat in the student center, and me and a couple others will volunteer to help. This makes me feel trusted by the adults, which makes me happy knowing the teachers and parents trust me with their children. Although I'm trusted by the other adults, I'm still held to a higher standard. My mom tends to get pretty tired of me pretty fast, especially when it comes to school. She has higher expectations and tolerates less bad behavior from me than other students. She wants me to do my best and not get into any shenanigans with other students if it means getting distracted from class. If I were to get in trouble, because she's already on campus, there's a high likelihood that she'll find out quicker than other parents because she's only a couple steps away from all my classes. One thing that other students think is that because she's my mom, I can't get in trouble, but it's actually the opposite. You see, if I were to get in trouble, the information usually gets to her before school ends, which means she'll talk to me sooner, which means I'll get punished sooner. Even when I'm not in trouble, information gets to her. She also treats me just like any other student during the school day, meaning I get consequences just like any other students if they were to get in trouble. While everyone else is told to respect their teachers and behave in class, I'm told the same thing, but they aren't just my teachers, they're my mom's friends too. But when I think about the pros and cons, I know that being a faculty child is really not bad at all. This experience made me who I am today, and not many other people are gifted to attend Upland. I was gifted with an amazing mother and father, along with my siblings. My siblings have also been faculty children as they attended Upland in the past years and currently. When my older siblings attended Upland, I looked up to them, excited to give the speech they once gave, and now this will be an experience that I'll always remember. I've had experiences and learned lessons here at Upland that will be valuable for the rest of my life. Understanding, trust, and responsibility. I may not have included these three aspects every day for the last 11 years, but they'll be in my mind long after I leave. Upland is where I grew up, and this community has taught me everything I need to know to go into my next school prepared. Being here with my family and the members of the community that have watched out for me and helped raise me has pushed me out of my comfort zone and got me to do things even if I didn't want to. Upland is like my second home, and even when I'm not here, it's still home. I can't imagine going anywhere else for school or to grow up. I can't imagine doing it any other way than a faculty child. Upland will always be a part of me, and I'll always be a part of Upland. Thank you.